I mean, the good news is if you look at the AI landscape, I mean, there has never been a technology that's gone from novelty to commodity as quickly as AI has gotten plugged in to so many things. So, I mean, the good news is, I mean, in the same way that years ago, even 5 years ago, there was a stark difference between a lot of the content management systems. As the market responds to these things, you kind of notice a kind of pattern of like convergent evolution in all of these platforms. So a lot of them at a very base level do a lot of the same things. Um, I'm a big fan of open source technology for a lot of reasons, but I would say I think some of the platforms that are better positioned for these are the ones with the lion's share of the market, simply
Mhm.
because they have the greatest one communities that are naturally incentivized to help plug into these things, and for an open source platform, that means there's a lot more developers and stuff working on it. So for something like WordPress, there's a lot more people actively working on integrating AI in a lot of different ways. Whereas for something like a Salesforce or a HubSpot, they just have such deep pockets and such, vast war chests that they can throw a ton at it because they have, again, so many customers who are paying for these platforms that they're really heavily incentivized to figure out how to shoehorn AI in ways that are really meaningful for their audiences. I don't like that it is a little bit more indicative of like a winner take all perpetuation.
Yeah.
But in terms of like where you think about going and where you spend your money for your organization, I would say those platforms that do have, unless you have a really niche use case where it's like, nope, I got to use a platform like this because it's the only one that does X, Y, or Z the way that I need it to. Being able to use some of those broader platforms with deeper, more committed communities will probably allow you to just benefit from the mistakes of others, right? And one of the reasons I really like WordPress is it has evolved, but it's also got a community of users that are millions and millions and millions of users. So even if you don't use any of these cutting edge features, you get the kind of evolutionary advantage of learning from everyone else's mistakes. So other people will try these plugins and use them and fail, and some will succeed, and you'll get to kind of pick the best in breed for whenever you're ready to adopt those kind of things.